Hey, welcome back to Leffman's Cocktails. Tonight we're gonna do a video trying 6 red bitters, and I'm here with my wife.
Hello everyone, you may have seen me before. I'm Taylor. I'm here for the Negronis and also to give you a layperson's perspective on those Negronis as opposed to the technical expert that we usually have here. Back over to the talent.
So for tonight's video, we're gonna use Stockholm Brannery Negroni Gin. They've crafted this gin specifically for their favorite style of Negroni. It's a little bit citrus and grapefruit forward, so I'm very excited to see how this works with all the Negronis we're gonna make, because we're gonna use this in all 6.
For our vermouth, we have a blend of 2 because John is so advanced. So the first one we have is the Mancino vermouth, and the second one that we have is called the Punta Venice. Together, they bring you a delightful blend. That is incidentally the same blend of vermouth that Atlas Cocktail Bar in Singapore, very dear to my heart, uses. Thank you, John, for your attention to detail.
So tonight, again, we're gonna do 6 red bitters. We're gonna start out, we're gonna do Campari, we're gonna do Select, we're gonna do Martini's Bitter, Gran Classico, Contratto Bitter, and Cappelletti. So there's 6 Negronis. It's gonna kind of be a lot, but I hope we will make it through.
Yeah, we have a date after this, so.
So it'll be a fun date. What do you have there?
This here. This is our old friend. This is the most basic bitter that you'll probably see if you're like me and not an expert on Negronis. This is our friend, the Campari. It is from Italy, like our friend Autumn, who now lives there. Ciao to you, Autumn. It is $24.99, which is one of the cheaper bitters that you're gonna see during this video, and it is 24% alcohol by volume.
Ready to give it a try?
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Let's do it.
It does smell like a Negroni.
Well, it is a Negroni.
Yes.
All right.
This tastes like most Negronis that I've ever had. I think it's delicious. My first impression of that was, it was a little on the syrupy side, which I think is common and most typical Negronis that I've tasted. So definitely syrupy, and with that, there's a big sweetness factor. However, it is balanced out by not too bitter, but definitely bitter taste that is there. But all in all, yeah, my uneducated opinion, that tastes like most Negronis that you're going to encounter.
Yeah, I also think it tastes like the absolute most basic style Negroni. The Campari is like not too bitter, but it is pretty sweet, and with the sweet vermouth added, it brings like a little bit, maybe too much sweetness. There's 2 ways to make a Negroni. You could just build it in the glass, which is what I'm doing tonight for kind of speed, since I have to make 6. Or, you know, properly stir it in a mixing glass and get the dilution before you put it over the ice, which is probably preferable, but because I don't have the time to do that tonight, we're gonna do it this way and get some dilution as we go. So hopefully these get a little bit more diluted and less syrupy, but this one has a pretty good sweetness to it. I think it is basically like the benchmark Negroni, hopefully, for tonight. And because Campari is the most common, I would say maybe it is the most benchmark Negroni, so hopefully that kind of works out.
Should I try one more sip? I think already the dilution is starting to take place. So it's cutting into the syrupiness a little bit, which I kind of prefer. Overall, pretty good balance of the sweet and bitter flavors, but they're a little more like in my face than I've come to prefer as of late.
Thanks. For our next bitter, we're gonna use Select Bitter from Venice, Italy. I actually really love this most in spritzes instead of Aperol, but we're gonna have it in Negroni anyway tonight. For price, it's a little bit pricier. It's $31.99 and it's only 14% ABV. So quite a bit less than the Campari, but I personally think it tastes a lot better in certain applications. So I'm really interested to see how it's gonna taste in this Negroni. All right, here's our Select Negroni. Cheers. Very bitter on the nose, I'll say that. I think this one is a little bit more syrupy, unfortunately, and a little bit sweeter, but the bitterness still punches through really well. But I will say, for me, I think somehow, even with the less ABV, all 3 components are blending together a lot better, so that neither or none really are standing out much more. With the Campari one, I felt that like the Campari was a big proponent of it and like taking up more than its 33% share, but in this one it seems everything's blending together so well.
So do you like it?
I do like it, yeah.
Better than the last one?
I do like it better than the last one, yeah. What do we think?
I garnished it with my hair. I definitely like this better than the last one.
Ooh.
To me, this actually tastes so much less syrupy.
Oh.
Did you say it tasted more?
This is why we have two opinions. Yeah, I think it tastes a little bit thicker.
I completely disagree. So I think that the sweetness of this is still pretty high. Not like relative to all Negronis I've had in general, not to the last one. Still pretty sweet, but I think the balance is much better in this one, and the syrupiness is much less. There's just the right amount of bitterness to sweet ratio. I would say this is actually less better than the last one. I like this a lot. This is a balanced guy right here, well-rounded.
Great.
I love him.
Let's move on to the next one.
But really take another sip of that. I can't believe.
I mean, I do think it's a little bit more like a little thicker, but I still think it's really delicious.
It's outrageous.
Even though it's a little bit more like syrupy, I still think it tastes better than the Campari one.
It does taste better.
Yeah.
On this we agree.
So we agree, but not on why. That's fair.
Okay, for round 3, we now have the Martini Bitter. I am told this is the highest alcohol by volume bitter we are going to be experiencing on this fine day.
That's true.
28.5% alcohol by volume.
It's a lot.
I memorized that statistic 1 minute ago. This costs $26, a little more pricey than our regular Campari, but not really by a noticeable amount. And it is also from Italy, as most of these bitters will be tonight. Thank you, Italy, for the abundance of bitters. Let's do this. Martini Bitter. I'm already seeming to notice, and maybe I'm making it up, but this looks more on the browner side than the others. Am I crazy about that, or am I right? I think that I'm right.
It looks a little bit browner. Yeah, I don't think any of them are going to be as red as like Select or Campari, honestly.
Okay, so yeah, we're moving into a browner territory. Let's try it. Not a lot of nose on this one.
Interesting.
Very subtle, very subtle. Ooh, got a spice to this one. Feeling a spice. Feeling a
Interesting.
Spice.
Like an alcoholic burn spice or like a spicy
like
botanical
spicy,
something?
Like it's like the fall season type of spice.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel some spice happening here. Don't ask me what type. And
we don't know.
Okay. Not too syrupy. Certainly less on the sweet. I would say this is a little heavier on the bitterness and the spice, but the syrupiness is not a problem. I think that's all that I have to say. It's a little imbalanced compared to the last one, I would say. And I still think the second one is my favorite.
Well, I look forward to trying it. Here we go. Yeah, a little bit muted on the nose.
Yeah, there's nothing happening. Muted on the nose, he says.
I think in this one, the bitter is like taking over in a very unbalanced way.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because the last one was like half the amount of ABV. But in this one, I feel like the Martini Bitter is like dominating this cocktail with like a background of gin, and the vermouth is like way, way, way far in the back. Like it's kind of barely there. It's providing the sweetness, but the Martini Bitter is definitely like dominating this drink.
Do you taste the fall season? Where's the spice?
There's no spice.
I hate this.
But I think it's pretty good. It's like not the best Negroni we've had so far today, but it's got a more unique flavor than the Campari or Select. It still has that like Negroni feel, but it's definitely like different, like just not quite there. It's not, if I ordered a Negroni and got this, I wouldn't be like completely disappointed, but I also wouldn't be like thoroughly satisfied.
Yeah, it doesn't scratch that Negroni itch. Something key is missing. It's not quite what you would expect, in not a good way.
Ready to move on to the next one? All right, for our fourth Negroni, we're gonna do the Gran Classico from Tempus Fugit. This one is probably the most expensive at like $38.99 a bottle, 28 ABV, and it's from Switzerland. So I think this is the only non-Italian one we're gonna try tonight. This one's interesting because it starts out and it's already brown. So this one's probably not gonna be red at all. And it's a more traditional formula apparently. And its main purpose is like a Campari substitute for Negroni. So I'm interested to try it.
When I see a brown Negroni, I think it's like automatically more vintage, like like blood, like it's brown.
I think it's because the alcohol was brown.
Yeah.
All right, on the nose, I think this one's a lot more bitter. And again, we're at 28% by volume, so maybe the bitters would be too overpowering in this one, but let's give it a try.
While he sips that, I'm also gonna say aesthetically, it's like completely brown in a not aesthetic way. Like the other one was like brown and red and it was cute, but this is just like rum and coke. Give me rum and coke.
It is delicious to me. Like this is, the bitter is like definitely prominent with the gin backing, but I don't think it's like overly sweet. It is a lot of bitter, but it's like a softer, it's a softer bitter that really tastes good and mixes everything really well. Even though it's not red, it definitely varies a little bit. It's a far stretch from the Campari, I would say, but it's definitely like got all the Negroni vibes that I would want and the taste that I would want, and I really enjoy it.
I'm eager to try this. Smell has returned.
Not
What?
a fan favorite.
Oh.
Ooh, we got a not good.
It's not like this is like disgusting, but this is not a Negroni.
Really?
No.
I think it tastes like a pretty good
This
Negroni.
tastes nothing like a Negroni. The sweetness is like off the charts, I feel.
Huh.
Burnt honey or something.
Okay.
Like liquid brown sugar. As unbalanced as number 3 was on the bitterness, this is like the antidote. This to me is like way too sweet. I don't know.
So this is the
my
least favorite so far?
one so far.
Okay.
It's syrupy, it's ugly, sorry. And then it's also not tasty. I'm so sorry to Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland, you are not loved by Taylor in this video. But I love it, so I don't know.
Wait, what is your favorite so far?
Oh, the Select is still my favorite.
The second one.
The second one's my
Yeah, the
favorite so
second
far.
one is definitely the best one so far.
Let's go on.
Up next, we have the Contratto Bitter. It is a nice looking bottle. It is $27, so we appear to be moving up the price range a little bit here.
A little bit.
And 22% ABV, so moving down in the alcohol by volume. I'm
True.
not sure what kind of a deal that is supposed to be. The bottle's pretty.
All right.
Very subtle scent, but it's
What do we think?
that one is kind of like lacking in flavor altogether.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very diluted, not syrupy at all, not bitter, and there's no spice.
Let's see.
I would say it's refreshing though.
It's light.
Yeah, it's really light.
It's like a little bit bitter. It's like a light. It definitely like focuses on the bitter, but not in any type of intense way. It's very light. It definitely is kind of refreshing. Honestly, I don't hate it. It's pretty
I don't
good.
hate it either. But it's not standing out to me, and I would never crave this.
I wouldn't, but it is a little bit like watery in the background,
Yeah,
I think.
it's watery. Was the
All
ice
right.
in there for a long time?
No,
Okay,
let's move on.
underwhelming. It's balanced in that nothing stands out.
Our last bitter is the Cappelletti bitter. It's like $22 and 17% ABV, I think. It is from Italy. It is wine based, actually. A fun little fact. Most of them are based off of a neutral spirit, except for one I think is brandy. But this one's wine based, so it should have a pretty different taste, I feel like. But anyway, let's give it a try in the Negroni.
In a quick hurry.
In a quick hurry. On the nose, it smells like dessert-like.
Interesting. I think number 2 is going to be the winner.
It has a totally different taste, like completely different taste from every other Negroni we've tried. It is a lot sweeter, much less bitter, and again has this like cake-like taste to it. Give it a try. It's
Cake-like
cake-like.
taste.
I'm telling you, try it.
Before I sip this, what are the odds that I actually agree with John? Although on the nose, sugar. It's sugar and dessert, like he said. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Cake-like. It's got like a.
I agree. I do
Oh,
agree.
that's shocking.
I know. We got there on the last Negroni. I do agree. It's so strange. Once again, though, does this give me like what I'm looking for in a Negroni? No, it does not. It's not bad, but there's still some brown sugar
It's
happening.
weird. It's definitely like it's got bitter and it's got gin, but it's like not Negroni like almost at all, I would say.
No, this is not a Negroni.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, you take that. Also, I guess we've departed
Cake.
with like the red.
It's red, but it definitely like goes brown real quick. Like
Can
it
I?
doesn't stand up.
Can I now say which bitter I think won?
Yeah, let's.
Because that's what we're all here
We're gonna
for
do
today.
best and worst.
Best
So your
and
best and worst. Go for it.
Okay. Here's my number 1, the Select. I recommend to Select. How much was this one again?
I think it's like $28. Well, I'll put it up on the screen because I don't remember.
On the screen. This is the best tasting one. It's not quite so syrupy as your regular Campari. It's a little bit more expensive, but I would say that it's worth it. This is absolutely my favorite bitters by far. My least favorite bitters?
Yep. I mean,
what was that gross one? Yeah, it was the Switzerland one.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, but ew.
Didn't like
recommend. Do not recommend.
All right. So I think for my favorite one, I agree. It's Select. It is delicious in a spritz. It's perfect in a Negroni, I think. It's not too high on the ABV. It's not too bitter. It's not too sweet. Honestly, it's pretty perfect for a Negroni, and I'm really surprised to say that, because I thought the Gran Classico was going to be my number one, because I've been favoring it a little bit more lately. But for my least favorite, I'm going to go with the Martini Bitter. It didn't quite scratch the itch for me. It did have, like, I'm not going to say a spice to it, but it had a flavor. The bitter was just too overpowering. It was too imbalanced for me.
I'm just going to verify.
Yeah, you just verify. But I think this was like my least favorite of the group. But yeah, I think that stands out.
There's a lot of water dilution happening now.
Yeah.
So it's muting all the spice, but it's still there. I didn't hate that one, but yeah. I'm just happy that we agreed. Like, now we can give you some real information.
Yeah, I think in the future, I would say, what's your favorite red bitter for Negroni? Select. By far, like, it's just the winner, and I'm shocked that we both agree.
I'm stunned.
But where would you rank Campari in the mix, since it's the standard? Like, think back.
It's hard not to conflate familiarity with, like, superiority. But it's pretty high up there, honestly. It's just so syrupy.
Like top three?
Yeah, it's definitely top three. I'm
Okay.
gonna give Campari number 2 because
Okay.
it delivers what I'm looking for, and I just think it was unfairly treated because it needs to be diluted a little bit more. I think a little extra time with the ice cube would solve my problems with Campari.
Yeah, I mean, it is the workhorse, so we're comparing everything to it.
Yeah.
So if something's better or worse, like, we're just basically making it the neutral. So I think Campari definitely deserves, like, some top recognition. I don't know if I'd make it my second favorite, but it is definitely still delicious. I think that's kind of it.
I think that's kind of it.
Thanks.
Plus we gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go to dinner.
The
We're going
dinner
to
reservation.
Italian, where I'm probably gonna order a Negroni.
I will not be ordering. That's crazy. I just had 6.
All right, well, thanks for watching Lenfin's Cocktails. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for
Thank you
joining
for
me on this
having me.
video. Bye.